Look at these giants sitting in the desert. These planes used to rule the skies.
Boeing ending production of its iconic 747 jumbo jet.
Queen of the skies will soon be the queen of the desert.
And for 50 years, if you crossed an ocean, you probably did it in one of these.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
When Boeing 747 first flew in 1969, people couldn't believe something that big could even take off because it seemed physically impossible. Then Airbus built one even bigger than that, which had 2 full decks and became the largest passenger plane ever built. And airlines couldn't get enough of them, which led to one of the biggest production runs in aviation history. And by the 1990s, multiple 747s took off every hour somewhere in the world, which meant the skies were filled with these giants operating around the clock. Boeing delivered 92 747s in 1970, which was their peak production year. So these weren't rare aircraft at all. But look at this now. Because Boeing's 747 line shut down in 2023, which means no more are being built. The A380 production ended even earlier, and they built the last one in 2021. But these smaller twin-engine planes are a completely different story, because manufacturers can't build them fast enough to keep up with demand. I wanted to understand how we went from bigger is better to bigger is dead. So I dug into the numbers and industry reports, and what I found wasn't what I expected at all. Because the story is way more complex than just fuel efficiency or changing technology. Let's go back to the 1960s. If you look at this chaos at Los Angeles Airport, you can see it was completely jammed with aircraft. Air travel was exploding during this decade, with passenger numbers growing at 10 to 20% annually, which meant airports were completely overwhelmed by this unprecedented surge in demand. But here's the problem they faced. Because every plane that existed looked like this, with a narrow body, single aisle, and capacity for maybe 150 people maximum. So airlines and airports had a choice to make, which was either build more airports and runways, or build bigger planes that could carry more passengers per flight. Cities like New York, London, and Tokyo had no space for more runways, because you can't just bulldoze Manhattan or tear down neighborhoods to expand airports. Look at it this way to understand the math. Because to move 1,000 people, you need 10 flights with narrow planes, or you could do it with just 2 flights if you had something massive enough. So in 1966, Pan Am CEO Juan Trippe walked into Boeing's headquarters and said something that sounded completely crazy at the time. He told them to build him a plane twice as big as anything that exists, which seemed like an impossible request. The 707 carried 150 people, but Trippe wanted 400 people in one plane, which was an unprecedented jump in capacity. Boeing's engineers thought he was insane when they heard this, because nobody knew if something that big could even fly.